Sexism in gaming. I'm not as bangable as the previous host. It's somehow...
Talk to him, Frost!
It has somehow been expected that you can talk about how much you jerked off to women as a compliment. It's not a compliment.
It's weird.
Women do not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. 2022, we be a bit nicer, a bit more self-reflective, and we enjoy the fact that people are working hard to make free content for you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
What's going on to all my gamers and gamers? This your boy Kano, the brutally honest gamer, and I'm back with another video. Let's get it, let's go, let's talk about it, right? So this video right here is going to be a lengthy video because there's a lot I have to say. I'm going off top of the head. There's no scripts written, so I'm just going to be real with y'all on my perspective. So this video is basically pertaining to the death of VennTv and the death of G4TV. Basically, the nostalgia of trying to make gaming in the cable forefront all over again, which didn't work on both sides because there was a lot wrong and majorly wrong with the whole platform. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with VennTv because it really wasn't that long, but G4TV is a lot longer from my perspective of everything that was wrong with G4TV. Alright, so with VennTv, it was basically launched in August of 2020 during the pandemic, basically. And it was supposed to be the MTV for gaming, which didn't work. They had shows like The Download, which basically supposed to be a video game show, basically on a news level, interviewing people, and have some movie and entertainment news, which I think it should have been separated with entertainment and all that. There should have been its own show of its own, and another show that should have stuck to gaming. Then you had Venn Arcade, which basically was a video game. I wouldn't say it was something like a competition type of show, but it wasn't really. You feel me? I think it was just a nostalgia. That was just a bunch of bullcrap. But there's another show called Dare Package, hosted by the dude Austin Show, which he was also on G4TV with Namie Price, which I thought that show was corny too. It was wiggity whack. All right, then you had another show, I forgot, it was hosted by Cash Nasty, which I thought was stupid. It didn't have anything to do with video games. Then you had Gas House, which was hosted by this chick named Christy. I forgot her last name. And it was just basically a 2.5 hour live stream where they just talking about video. We're not talking about video games. They playing video games, doing drawings and other bullcrap that was unnecessary. And then it had a few guests there, but it was really just bullcrap. Then you had another show that was basically a bunch of bullcrap called Gray Area with Dumbfounded. You know, shout out to Dumbfounded and Sasha Grey. And honestly, I didn't know who Sasha Grey was until I Googled her name. And let's just say the world knows what that mouth do, though. Basically. Yeah. But anywho, it was just some unnecessary show, and it was just a nostalgia channel that really didn't have anything to do. So what happened was, the founders of VennTv basically raised about $24 to $25 million to try to expand onto the shows. And basically it didn't work out well because they had Locked On, which was another esports type of show. It just didn't pan out to be. I think it was just unnecessary. Then you had Dare Package with, like I said, Austin Show, basically the person that came to G4 and hosted Namie Price, which that show was corny, like I said. And it really didn't pan out to be. And this is where I feel like where VennTv went wrong. They didn't really cater to the video game audience in a way. You feel what I'm saying? And the way in the days of them having those type of channels and Twitch and all that was long gone. Because if you think about it, like for example, the gamer section. The gamer section is a video game content creation channel on YouTube, and also we're a video game media brand. Also, we're upcoming in a sense, so I can get my drift on the levels of IGN and GameSpot and Game About and all that, right? So basically, at this point with VennTv, we really didn't need a VennTv, but it was wanted because people wanted to see what other gamers had when it comes to discussions in gaming and news and all this other stuff, right? So it didn't work. Another issue with VennTv is the people that they actually got on VennTv, and most of them were just YouTube content creators that really didn't have great takes in gaming. You know what I'm saying? So that was really the problem. Also, the people that they hired, and what they really needed was they needed more video game style shows. Like they needed more video game news shows. Like the Download should have been a 100% video game news show, but it wasn't. And they should have taped all their shows. Two, they should have had a review type of video game review type of show. Three, they should have one esports type of show. They should have made Vent Arcade more of a review type of show instead of making that bullcrap that they had. That's what was wrong with VennTv. You feel what I'm saying? And then the Gray Area show, that should have never happened. That show should have been more so an exclusive show on YouTube and Twitch only. Well, actually it was because they ain't have no cable. But I digress. That show should have just never happened. Gray Area should have never happened at all. That was just a relationship show that didn't have anything to do with video games. So it's like, what the hell that had anything to do with video games, right? Then another issue that they really had when it comes to the Download and all them shows, they should have taped every show instead of it going live. That was the downfall of VennTv. They didn't tape their shows, and they didn't have the right content creators, the right people to host the shows. That was wrong. That was just bad as hell. You feel me? And that's why it failed miserably. Do I think it come back? You never know. Possibilities in English. I say never when it comes to VennTv. There's a possibility, but if they do it, they need to do it right. You know what I'm saying? I've been an advocate. I could possibly would have worked at VennTv and did everything right, but I got the gamer section, so what I need VennTv for? Facts. But anywho, I digress. Now, I'm done with VennTv. Let's talk about G4TV. Now, everybody know the backstory about G4TV and why it actually got canceled the first time, with them playing syndicate shows like House and Campus PD and all that bullcrap that they was doing over there. That was a bunch of blasphemy. That's figgity facts. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's facts. You know what I mean? And then now, fast forward to summer of 2020 when G4TV was announced, and that was a little bit before VennTv actually launched. All right. Now, G4TV was officially announced, and they was bringing back X-Play and Attack of the Show, the top two shows that everybody loved near and dear to their heart. That's facts. All right. And I'm not a Attack of the Show fan like that. I'm more of an X-Play fan, but that's how I was feeling. Okay, I was excited. I was happier than ever. You feel me? We was like, yes, we getting our childhood memories back. Because when we used to come home, like when me and my brothers used to come home from school, we used to watch G4TV because back in the days, internet wasn't as popular as it is now. We couldn't really find any gaming news like that, so we had to watch G4TV. That's facts. You feel what I'm saying? So, anywho, I digress. After they announced it around November 2020, they had the G4 special, which I thought was dope as hell. They're bringing all the guests back. That was cool and all that. You feel me? But I was like, okay, that's cool and all that. And then it was hinted towards that Xavier Woods was going to be a host on the show. Cool. So, fast forward to about, next year, or not even next year, the 2021. I digress. I got to give myself an L. 2021, when they started naming a host of who was all going to be there. So, we knew Adam Sessler and Kevin Ferrara, they was going to be there. That was cool. Then Xavier Woods, we knew he was going to be the next host. He was the third person announced. That was cool. Then they announced Olive May. I wasn't familiar with Olive May, but I found out that she actually had some esports background. I was like, okay, that's cool. So when they announced Indiana Fosk, I didn't know who she was, but now I did some research on her, and I'm like, she got a track record of some controversial remarks. She's basically the female version of CM Punk, basically. She runs her mouth too much, and then she basically the type that really don't see anything wrong. And she's basically in that group, basically. If you say something bad to her, they're going to try to cancel you, basically. That's basically the way I look at Fosh. So, Fosh, from what we all know, is she has bad intakes in gaming. She's very controversial. And in my opinion, when I did research on her, I was like, why would G4 want to hire her? That was a bad move to hire her. All right. So then they hired Gerard the Completionist. I was like, okay, that's dope because he's really a gamer. You feel what I'm saying? Then not only that, then they hired Will Nerf and then Cassie MG. I wasn't familiar with them. Then the Black Hokage, I knew who he was. He's another controversial individual. I was feeling like, why would you hire him? You feel me? And then Fiera Nova, wasn't familiar with her. It was just a lot of people I wasn't familiar with when it comes down to G4 TV. And I felt like it was not going to go well. And then when you looked at the Summer Beach House situation, and what they was doing, it wasn't. You could tell it wasn't gonna go well. That's facts. All right. So when the launch came, this was November 15th, 2021. When the launch came, I remember that day like it was yesterday. Let me speak facts on this. I remember on the Xfinity channel when I had G4TV on, you know what I'm saying, and it just had coming soon. Then the next day, all I had was like all I had with G4TV was Ninja Warrior all day. Then you had to look on YouTube where they had the catastrophic launch. And I'm thinking to myself, y'all should have aired that simultaneously on G4TV, on the cable part of it. Facts. And I was like, yeah, that's going to go downhill. G4TV is not going to last long. And then, mind you, when the catastrophic launch, mind you, Austin's show from VennTv was on there. You feel what I'm saying? And I was like, it's a curse going on. VennTv and G4TV, it's a curse going on because some people that's coming from VennTv going to G4TV, it's gonna go downhill from there. That's my thoughts. You feel me? So after they did the catastrophic launch, then we knew the shows that they was gonna have. They had 4 shows. Honestly, to start off, they had X Play, they had Attack of the Show, they had Invitation to Party, Dungeons and Dragons, which I didn't care for, and they had Boosted, which was supposed to be an esports news show, which was a whole debacle and didn't have any direction. You feel me? So they had 1 season of Invitation to Party, which I didn't care for. I didn't watch like that. Then you had X Play, which didn't really have direction. Attack of the Show didn't have direction. And then they ended up having a spinoff called Attack of the Loop and Attack of the Show Vibe Check, which I thought was corny. They were trying to be a bootleg version of G4TV.com, but without the video games. You feel me? Then fast forward to later on in like 2022, that's what we're going through right now. All right? Fast forward to right now. Invitation to Party got canceled. You feel me? That's obvious. You didn't really see the people there. X Play is really not X Play because Adam Sessler was barely there. He was dealing with family issues, and he's gotten more controversial because of what he was saying about the Republican stuff. And me, I'm not into politics. You feel me? Even though I'm a registered Democrat, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about politics and stuff like that because, you know, when it comes to politics, people don't care. They don't care about the people. They just care about power. That's what it's all about. I digress anyways, though. You feel what I'm saying? So Adam Sessler said some controversial stuff about Republicans and whoop-de-woo and all that stuff. I'm like, they ain't got nothing to do with gaming and stuff like that. You're going to cause a lot of trouble for yourself. That's what I was thinking. And then I wouldn't say it's the nail in the coffin, but the biggest thing that happened was when Foz had the sexism in gaming. And that issue stimulated from when she had a take on PlayStation, which she had a bad take on PlayStation, even though, you know, I'm not happy with what's going on with Sony, which I got a video for about that soon. But she had a bad intake on Sony, and people called her out for it. And she made a video called Sexism in Gaming. And when she made that video with Sexism in Gaming, then we knew that G4TV was going down here from there. Because you telling people if you don't like it, don't watch. People are not going to watch. And she drew a lot of criticism to herself and drawn a bad name to herself. Now it's to the point right now. She most likely won't get any work in the gaming culture for a long time because of the situation that she put herself in. All right. So after all that happened, it went down here from there. People stopped watching G4TV, which I was one of them because how dull it was, and it was bad. So fast forward to the closure of G4TV. G4TV ain't what it was and what it was supposed to be. G4TV didn't have any direction of where it wants to go. G4TV had hired people that didn't have any chemistry on set, and the same problem with VennTv is they didn't take their shows. You know what I'm saying? They live streamed their shows for hours. I remember when the old Attack of the Show was just an hour. With the new Attack of the Show, it was live streamed for about 2.5 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours of nonsense. And they should have just take their shows. That would have been better that way to take their shows. You feel what I'm saying? Like take the episodes. It just didn't work that way. It was just bad. You feel me? And then not only that, like, and this is where I'm going at of why G4TV didn't shut down. G4TV didn't have any direction of where they wanted to go. When they hired the people, the people at Comcast basically told them to hit the ground running. Hit the ground running and basically what's the one I'm looking for? They basically hit the ground running and didn't give them no direction where they wanted to go. G4TV, the way that they had their shows, it wasn't about video games. And they was talking about, oh, this is supposed to be about video games, but they only had one video game show, and that was X-Play. The other shows like Attack of the Show used to be a tech show. They tried to make that a comedy version of Saturday Night Live, and none of the individuals on the show was funny. They was actually corny. You feel me? Then they had other shows from YouTube, like Scott the Watch, which was kind of more of an informative video game show about some of the history, but I didn't find the show to be funny neither. I thought it was corny too in a sense, but it was actually good at the same time. Then you had the Viva or something. Viva, I don't know. It was corny too about video game comedy. That wasn't even funny. Then they had Name Your Price, which I thought that was the worst show ever. If they was going to do giveaways on the show, they should do video games on. They should have gave away stuff that was on the video game aspect of it. They didn't do none of that. That's why that show was so bad. It was so corny. And they make that show even live on YouTube and Twitch, which they could have just taped the show. But they didn't do that. That's why the show was corny. And another issue that I felt like G4TV felt that is they didn't make it a video game platform. They didn't have a lot of video game shows to actually do justice for. You feel me? And that what was mainly wrong with G4TV in my opinion. You feel me? I didn't, like Gerard the Completionist, he did everything right. Adam Sessler, he was barely there. So Adam Sessler is basically irrelevant to the equation. You feel me? Then you look at the Black Hokage, he's a controversial individual. I don't think, like, no disrespect to him, I don't think he was a good fit. If they would, honestly, with G4TV, they should have gave him a show. They should have brought back the show Players where he would interview and play games with celebrities. That would have been good with having him and, shout out to Hip Hop Gamer. They should have had him and Hip Hop Gamer host the show. That would have been dope to have that in a way. You feel what I'm saying? But all in all, in my opinion, G4TV was a nostalgic channel that from my childhood memories. But the thing about it was, with this new G4TV that just got canned, they didn't have no direction. They didn't know what to do with it. They didn't have the right shows. They was trying to cater towards esports. But this is the kicker why I have my issues with G4TV, right? The old G4TV, whenever they have these showcases, like when E3 was around, they was at the E3 events. They're interviewing game developers. They had, like, I remember they would use the E3 day, like day 1, day 2, day 3. It was an all-day thing where they was interviewing game developers, showcasing the games and all that other stuff. The problem with this G4TV was when they did the Xbox showcase, they should have had it in a presentation like they would do on IGN, where they would just present the game instead of having a watch party. I think that was a bunch of bull, and that to me felt like it didn't have that professionalism like the old G4TV had. You feel what I'm saying? They shouldn't have had a watch party. They should have had it in a professional sense. That's facts. 2, when they went to PAX, they should have had taped shows where they was interviewing game developers and showing off new games instead of doing the panel stuff. I think that was a bunch of bull crap too. It was just a lot of things that was wrong with G4TV that was bad. You feel what I'm saying? And the nostalgia is basically over for G4TV and VennTv in the sense that, like I said, we got the gamer section. The gamer section is basically, like I said, a video game media platform, upcoming video game media platform, and a group of YouTube content creators that really play video games. You know what I'm saying? And that really be gaming. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, you feel me? I've been talking long enough. This has been a lengthy discussion type of video. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it on that note. Comment your thoughts about the death of VennTv and G4TV. Rest in peace. They could have done better, which they didn't. And go to the gamer section and make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the post notification bell for when I drop videos. You dig? I'm out. Peace.